In Turkey, I don't know why. Maybe 5 years ago, we unconsciously drink bottled water. We don't know why, because we have tap water. How can change the? I don't know really. How we drink bottled water? It's very plastic, very modernist way. It's industrialized water. We put water in the plastic.
Water is not just the water. Water is not just the H2O. Water not is in bottle. Water is real life. And that life come from the Panch Mahabhuta. Panch Mahabhut not for market. If we are going to the market in Panch Mahabhuta, we can't live.
We fight commodification of water, but our fight is a fight to create an entirely new architecture for water. To create an architecture based on a vision of life, which links up the past and which looks into the future. Our fight is a fight to create. A creation cannot be based by negation alone. A creation can be done only when you infuse life form and life energy into the movement. From being an anti-privatization, anti-commodification type of a context, we said, can we step out of that? We worked with very integral parts of the architecture of water in terms of its practical aspects. We talked about the financing concepts underlying water systems. We looked at the whole politics and economics of water. How do we ensure that there is good, efficient, safe delivery of water? At the end of the whole conference, there is this tremendous sense of joy that not only could we relate as human beings, not only could we discover the flow of life amongst each one of us and touch that eternal flow that flows through all of us, but we also gave substance.
Water is a political reality. And unless we get back into the politics of water, we will not be able to define what is our strategy.
Any regulatory framework, for it to be truly alternative and effective, to have the strength of law, must be legislated. That's a very clear position in my country, such that it is beholden to no one particular administration.
It can be everything from certainly what our friends in Bangladesh are doing around the idea of a cooperative. That's part of establishing a commons in a region, to looking at legal structures that we can implement, all the way from a global convention on water as a human right to local laws and constitutional change, as have been done in places like Ecuador, Bolivia, Uruguay.
We have to look at the implications of right to water for basic survival, as mentioned, the lifeline access, and also entitlements, as well as economic affordability, especially in the design of delivery systems.
So in my personal belief, I think that alternatives should also include not just a change for better, for improving the lives of people, but also a righting of wrongs. So I don't know how the themes can perhaps take up the issues of accountability and justice.
And also when you talk about the private sector, I think we can talk about the local private sector and the international private sector, because most of the big issues we are talking, that the foreign private sector comes and take all the profits and go home.
But you know, where the community-driven decentralized water management, my country and my people get success. Where they are trying. Or they are just not a model of the simple one village or two villages. The area of the vast area, you can say the 6,500 square kilometer area, can show and fulfill the need of the people and nature both.
Willy-nilly, today, the instruments of delivery of service are these public institutions. Whatever said and done, even if you do decentralization, we have extensive decentralization in India. We have local bodies, elected bodies, etc. Still, these local bodies, etc., are forced to work, are working with government institutions. So until and unless the institution which is supposed to work with this field formation, that is these local bodies, are in tune with this vision of working with community, for community, by the community, no success is going to happen.
the inefficiencies and the corruptions are not really terminal, and then and that the public sector can actually reform, and we need to work on this. And we really need people and policy champions to be able to have a change process within and also backed by outside. In the Philippines, we call it as the bibingka strategy.
The rice cake approach, because we cook rice cakes by putting heat below and heat above.
We can't see government officials as something monolithic of, you can't think of, there's a certain kind and that's it. And that's very important. I think there are true allies within the government. It's just a question of talking to them and finding out also, because they face very different realities, but there are also difficult realities. There are true obstacles of working within the bureaucracy.
From below and from above, there are energies coming together into what's the point really, to improve people's lives. And may I add, women's lives in particular, who use 80 to 100% of water in their daily activities.
I personally feel inspired to work more with government officials and to find the spaces, the room that we have to maneuver within the government structure.